Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jaison Mathew. So this is the continuation video of showing the impact on wireless or the RF with the data traffic or streaming or downloading, how this one is impacting your network. So we already talked about it, and I already talked about my setup, how my setup is, and how we are actually doing this testing and all those things. So if you didn't see in the first video, so you'll feel disconnected. So you can actually go back and see the part one, then come back to this video. So let's continue from where we stopped. I already talked about my setup, and I'm using one MacBook Pro to do this kind of generating the traffic or whatever it is. So now let's talk about how to control the streaming in your network. I already shown you how this one client can impact your network with 8K video or 4K resolution. So now let's see how to control this behavior from the client. So we will not be able to talk to each and every user and ask them to move from 8K or something. Most of the time, this configuration will be auto. When we say streaming auto, as you can see here, this guy is running with quality as auto, but currently it's on 4K. So you can see here. So this kind of situations will be there everywhere. So everyone will be on auto by default. It will be auto. This is a common scenario for any YouTube or Netflix, any kind of streaming. So they will start with the baseline, and from there they will go up to the highest available thing. So now we have to control this guy to for going into the 4K mode. So how we will do that? So for that, we have to think about the rate limiting kind of thing. So to simulate that scenario, I have this inspect page open for this video. So this is the available option in inspect mode in Chrome. So basically, this is the Chrome browser. So here you have a throttling option. I can actually throttle this one with any kind of profile. So what I did is I add the profile here. So I have custom profiles, and you can see the speed limits. I set it on this one. So you'll be able to use this on a throttling point of view. So the same kind of thing can be applied on the rate limiting of our WLC that can be utilized to control this behavior so that it will not go into the highest available resolution. So when we say 8K, your impact is too much. We talked about that and we shown the impact on the RF on that. Now let's see how this throttling is able to control your behavior on the streaming side. So right now it was online. Online means it's unlimited, and you can see this particular video is running without any issues on 4K. Now I refresh the page and I have this 1 Mbps throttling set on this video, and you can see that this video qualities keep changing. And right now this is running with 480p. Just now it's changed to 480p. It was 144. So this is the auto mode. So it's actually changed to 480, and with 1 Mbps it's running with 480p on your networks. So I set the speed as 4 Mbps. Let's see how this guy is behaving after this throttling is completed. So let me just refresh it. So I just put it on another video, another section, and you can see after setting this one into 4 Mbps, it's able to run with uh, SD video quality. So let's see this one. So auto is changed to 720p here. So when you set the throttling or the rate limiting on the wireless side, it will change that accordingly. So I set 4 Mbps, and it detected that I can go up to 720p, and it's already gone up to 720. So I can change this one into 25 and see how this one is behaving after 25 Mbps. I'm putting 25 MB now. After refreshing with 25 Mbps, it's able to run this one in quality auto 4K. Whatever I'm showing here is kind of a simulated scenario. This is not the real scenario. So you know how to configure this one on your rate limiting. You can put that values on your rate limiting. Let me show you that how to do it. This is one of the biggest challenge everyone is facing in wireless world, because you don't have controls on client. So you have to ultimately put a cap on your the bandwidth available for the users. So This is one example how this streaming happens, and the bandwidth, as I mentioned earlier, the bandwidth requirement on Netflix and YouTube is different, and the other Amazon Prime or any other kind of things, it will keep it based on the codecs used in the background or the video quality method they used in the background, frame count, and all those things will vary. So based on that, the bandwidth requirement is also vary. This is how you can actually control your clients in your network and reduce the bandwidth utilization and impact on your RF. I'm going to set this speed as 1 Mbps. Currently, it's running on 4K. And let's see what happens after putting this 1 Mbps. Let me refresh this manually. And I put it on manually. I refreshed it, and you can see that this one directly gone down from um, 4K to 720p. Yeah, further, it will reduce further if even 720p is not available for running with that speed. In ideal scenario, how you want to do this one, you can actually decide based on your requirement. You can talk to your users and set the bandwidth based on that. In ideal scenario, 1080p is something, it's a reliable video quality or the standard video quality, you can say 1000p is not a bad quality at all. So if you want to limit that, based on that you have to set a value there. So this is the Netflix help center, and you can see that what is the data usage per video quality. So in low quality video, it will take zero point 0.3 GB. In medium quality, it takes 0 0.7 GB, and highest quality, it's high quality, it takes 3 GB. And auto, this is the culprit we are talking about um, in a Wi-Fi or wireless point of view, RF point of view. When you put it on auto, it can run on zero point 0.3 Gbps, or it can run up to 3 Gbps per hour. And Ultra HD 4K, it can go up to 7 GB. So this is the documented data from Netflix. So you have to take a call based on which quality you want to provide to them. It can be best video quality with 3 GB. It can be 4K with 7 GB. The biggest difference between streaming and downloading, right? So you are downloading. So right now I'm downloading a file here. This downloading will finish once this download is completed. But in case of streaming kind of thing, what happens is this will be doing that streaming. It will do the buffering. Once this video is completed and your autoplay is enabled on the other side, it will just continue with the next video. It's a never-ending story. It's not going to stop until your YouTube is run out of uh, videos, right? Or based on some specific checks in the background. If your screen is on and if you are keep running with autoplay, it will keep running the videos in the background. Your entire bandwidth will be utilized. These are the big difference between the streaming and downloading. So as you can see here, 100 MB file is completed already. Now there is no transfer happening. But this guy, if it's continuously playing, it will keep playing until this playlist or your entire videos run out of in that. If it's a Netflix, if that entire movie is completed, then it may stop. Otherwise, it will continue with the next movie or next song as a continuous. So if you autoplay is already enabled. So this is the big difference between streaming. So rate limiting is one of the thing you can do in the background um, to control this behavior. Now let's see how this configuration can be done on the WLC side. Right now, this entire setup is a kind of a simulated scenario. I'll just talk about where you can configure that particular value on the WLC. This is my WLC, and you can set the rate limiting in multiple areas. One of the section is under QoS. You can have profiles, and inside the profile, you can actually set the per user bandwidth contract or per SSID bandwidth contract. So based on your requirement, you will be able to set that value. And roles, you can actually add guest user role. Then under that role, you will be able to set the bandwidth contract. And this role can be directly mapped to a local net user. That is under security. Go to local net user. Let me create one user. Then if you enable this particular guest user option, you will be able to see the roles here. So this is the way you can actually set the bandwidth contract to a user with the local net user. Then next one is we talked about this QoS, right? So this QoS is applied based on the profile name. This profile mapping happens under WLAN, and in QoS you have this profiles mapped here. So based on this one, it will be applied. If you want to override this configuration, you can also do this manually. You can set the bandwidth contract on the WLC, and it will be applied on your client side. Based on each client per user or per SSID, you can actually set that value. So this is how you do this bandwidth contract configuration on Cisco AirOS WLCs. So this one will be utilized in the background, and you will be able to use this one to control your clients going into high resolution, and your entire bandwidth is getting choked. I seen this scenario in multiple deployments. Sometimes it's actually choking the entire pipe of your network, or it's actually affecting some areas based on some people are actually streaming with 4K or 8K videos. So you can decide how you want to control this data traffic on your network, and set the right value. So you have to find out your own value based on your requirement. You have to study your users and how they behaves in network. Application visibility is one of the feature that you can use and see this information, how this data traffic is going through your network. And based on that application visibility data, you will be able to take a call how you want to control your traffic. Even though this is not a perfect video that shows each and every scenarios in streaming and downloading, but I believe I was able to convey that message to you, that how these clients are going to behave in your network with streaming and downloading, and how you will be able to control it. Thank you for watching.